Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. In the city of Hemet, they are looking for a few good men and women to work as police officers in the city, and also in the name of public safety. The fire department is approaching things a little differently, a little outsourcing there. With us now, the mayor of Hemet, Larry Smith. Glad you're here.
Leslie, glad to be here. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about my community.
Yeah, you're hiring police officers, and there's a finder's fee people might like to know about. This is kind of interesting because you have a police officer's a great job, and yet you're looking for something specific.
You know, it really is. And I've got to hand it to our chief. Sat down with the guys and says, we really need to find some experienced guys out there that really want to come in, help us with some of our young guys in our department. So they put their heads together and they says, what if we gave them an incentive to come over here? What if we gave them like $10,000? Come over here, stay for 4 or 5 years, finish your career in Hemet, show us what you know, and turn our guys into some of the best police officers in the region.
So you're going to give the finder's fee to the officer, him or herself, who comes over?
That's what it's for. So we give you an incentive to come over and maybe you want to finish your career in a neat city like Hemet and show us how you did it and elsewhere in the region, and we can learn something from these guys.
Why are you doing this?
Well, because we've been having a difficult time recruiting qualified officers. We've got some young men in the academy right now ready to come out, but experienced police officers are worth their weight in gold. They've been there, they've done that, they don't make very many mistakes, and our guys can really learn from them. So I think there needs to be a real balance of young, upcoming professionals with guys who have been seasoned and around a long, long time.
Yeah, a lot of the seasoned guys, they get in a department and they just want to stay where they are, so you have to.
They do. So we got to incentivize them a little bit. Come on over, guys. Show us what you know, help us out, make us a better police department.
In the fire department, you're doing things a little differently. The economy made all cities look at how they're doing business. A lot of people contracting out. What are you doing to protect people?
We really are. And finally, you know, it's been the last 4 years of just cut. And we took a good, hard, strong look at our fire department, asked this question: are we providing the absolute best service to our community for what it's costing us? And we determined that we didn't have paramedics on our fire engines, number one, and nearly 90% of our calls in our city are medical calls. So our first responders, in my mind, need to be paramedics, provide advanced life service when they get there, life support. So if somebody needs that, the first responder is qualified to do that. So what we've done is we've asked CAL FIRE, Riverside County, to come in, take a look at it, provide us a proposal for what would cost them to do the service level we want. Stepped up, and they're going to save us $500,000, and they're going to do one thing we do not have along with paramedics, is emergency medical dispatch. While somebody's on a 911 call, instructions are going back to the helper of the victim so they prepare for the advanced life system to show up via the paramedics.
You know, a lot of cities, the fire truck automatically rolls along with the paramedics, the ambulance. Is this going to happen too with your CAL FIRE?
It will. That will still happen because we are obligated to respond to those 911 calls. What we have now oftentimes...
But to respond with a fire truck as well. Sometimes it's just a little nonsensical if it's a medical call, but that's not being looked at too.
And that was, Leslie, that was part of the issue, is we were rolling out on a lot of calls that really were paramedic required calls. Our guys sometimes would turn back, they would continue and go out there, and I think there was some redundancy built into that. I certainly would like to see in any emergency situation as many paramedics on scene as you possibly could have. So I like the fact that the ambulance will still show up with their paramedics, and then going forward, the fire engines will have paramedics too.
Just working smarter and better and trying to keep people safe.
We really are.
Thanks so much, Larry Smith.
My pleasure, thank you.
Mayor of Hemet, for being here. And thank you for joining us. I'm Leslie Leyton.